Welcome once again to WCTE's High School Basketball Game of the Week. Tonight, district rivals Jackson County and Carthage square off in Gainesboro. Coach Pam Huffines leads her 4-2 Owlettes against the 2-3 Lady Blue Devils of Jackson County coach Dan Huffines. Yes, the coaches are related. They're third cousins, but they're putting aside family matters tonight as these two girls' teams fight for a win in District 7AA. The Jackson County Lady Blue Devils, who are 2-3 under Coach Dan Huffines, go against the Carthage Owlettes, 4-2, and in District 7AA, the Carthage Owlettes are 1-1. So Jackson County Lady Blue Devils have yet to win in their district. What kind of game are we expecting tonight, Peter?
They sure do. Looking at the Carthage Owlettes, statistically, I think they've got the edge, but it's early in the season. We still got a lot of games to play. And Jackson County, the Blue Devils, they've got some height on their team, so it could be a very good game.
And the Carthage Owlettes are returning all their starters from last year. Jackson County has 4 girls who have seen action, but unfortunately they haven't seen a lot of action. 2 of them have had knee surgery in the past couple of years and have started off and on. In fact, third game of the season 2 years in a row for Angie Huffines. She was out against Red Boiling Springs after the third game of the year for the past 2 years. So it's going to be interesting tonight to see if her knee holds up. She's made it through the Red Boiling Springs game so far this season. Let's run down the starters. For Carthage, it's going to be Denise Apple. She's a 5'10 senior. Tammy Hyatt, a 5'8 senior. Tracy Cowan, a 5'4 senior. Angela Massey, a 5'6 junior. And Sandra Wilburn, a 5'8 senior. Sandra averages 11 a game and Denise Apple 10 a game. For the Lady Blue Devils, Lynette Poochie Brown is 5'8 junior. Teresa Haney is 6'1 senior, averaging 20 a game. 5'4 junior Joanna Flatt, Angie Huffines, 5'6 junior, and Susan Hughes, a 5'8 senior. There's the opening tip-off, and it is controlled by the Carthage Owlettes. Man-to-man defense by the Lady Blue Devils. Shot inside up and good. That's Sandra Wilburn with her first 2 of the night. And the Owlettes are going to meet a man-to-man at about half court.
And you see right there, Sandra went up against Teresa Haney and did that fall-away jump shot, still put it in. A nice 5-foot jumper.
Lady Blue Devils working inside. Shot won't fall for Teresa Haney. And it rebound comes down to Angie Huffines. Her shot won't fall. Now we have traveling called on the Lady Blue Devils. By the way, our referees tonight are Glenn Donahoe from Lafayette and Norman Neal from Cookeville. He's formerly from LaGrange, Georgia. He moved to Cookeville 6 months ago and said he loves it. Both teams expected to be in the man-to-man defense tonight. There we see a pass inside. It's blocked up there by Teresa Haney. Now from far outside, up and good. Denise Apple, who's averaging 10, has put down 2. Once again, the Owlettes are going to have the man-to-man press.
That was a nice block by Haney. She gave baseline, but came back and got that block shot. Good strategy right there by Jackson County to slow the ball down a little bit. Gives Haney the shot up for 2.
Averaging 20 a game. She has her first 2. And the score is 4-2. Carthage works it inside. From 2 feet away, the shot falls for Tammy Hyatt.
Nice play right there. Sandra Wilburn kind of threw him off because they did a little pick, and it looked like she was going to go and do the pick and roll, but instead she went inside for the easy 2.
Lady Blue Devils are not really moving well. They're not, don't appear to have a set offense to run against the man-to-man at this point. Now they're moving the ball around. Once again, Teresa Haney. She's 2 for 2.
Yeah, Teresa came from the other side of the post, swung around, got a nice 10-footer in.
Nice sticky defense by the Blue Devils. Working inside. There's the offensive board. Shot still won't fall 3 times. And Haney gets the board.
Wilburn right there, she took a bounce instead of going right back up, and that gave Jackson County enough time to surround her, so they were right there on that defense.
Flat out front, over to Huffines. Now they're moving the ball around. They try to work Huffines open. She's open, and the shot will not fall. Nice board inside. The shot won't fall inside for Lynette Brown. Denise Apple coming down with the ball. We have a traveling called on the far side.
Travel on number 55, Sandra Wilburn, back to the Jackson County Lady Blue Devils.
Let's look at it again, Peter.
And right there you saw a little shuffle right before she went up for the shot.
And as the Lady Blue Devils were trying to bring the ball in, they couldn't find anybody open, so to turn the ball over after a 5-second violation. The Owlettes get it back. Very sticky defense by the Owlettes. Create the turnover. There's Apple inside off the glass.
You can see right there how Carthage is racking up those points. They're not afraid to go in the middle for the shot.
And there's Haney.
Okay, you can see right there, she's, 4 or 5 feet away from that goal. Right there's the high percentage shot. If she doesn't put it in, she can always go to the line and shoot 2.
Teresa Haney commits her first foul of the game. And Denise Apple puts her first free throw in. Second one does not fall. She fights and gets her own rebound almost. Now Huffines, or excuse me, that's flat for Jackson County, racing after it down the floor, knocked out by an Owlette. Lady Blue Devils possession. Let's see once again that sticky man-to-man defense. They weren't able to get the ball in, but quickly this time the ball comes into Joanna Flat. Lady Blue Devils moving around against the man-to-man, trying to find an opening. Haney pops and shoots. Teresa Haney, 6'1" senior.
Good move by Haney right there. She kind of hesitated, was thinking about throwing it, but instead went up for the shot.
Long pass inside is knocked out of bounds by Lynette Brown. So the Owlettes will retain their possession. Nice play by Lynette. Owlettes passing around, making lots of action, and Haney got a piece of that one. So Wilburn's shot was blocked. They put it into Haney. She's double teamed, and the ball is knocked away by Massey.
That was still a very good inside pass right there to Haney. Okay, right there you see the jump ball.
And I'm not sure who gets first possession on this one. I believe they have it pointing toward Carthage. But anyway.
Jackson County, they need to do those kind of things. One thing they're doing real nice on offensively right now is they're slowing it down and they're looking for the open shot. Right there, this last play where we had the jump ball, they took their time, and Haney was open. The pass just wasn't high enough.
Here we can see it from down under.
Okay, and here's that nice pass to Haney underneath. Haney almost got it. There she goes. Turns around. If it wasn't for the Carthage player right there, she had a nice, easy 2-foot jump shot right underneath the basket.
Massey the credit for that one. And Haney was double teamed there, too. So there you see Smith County, or Carthage's record. They're 4-2 overall, and in the district, they're 1-1. Last time out, they beat Cookeville 54-38. Coach Dan Huffine said that they will be playing a man-to-man defense, and they expect tonight's game to be an awesome task, and that's a direct quote. He said they probably will not be doing much pressing. They might fall into the press every once in a while, but that this Carthage or Smith County team is just a little bit too fast.
And Pam Huffine, she likes to play that man-to-man too, and she feels like she's got a strong enough team that they can go out there and do pressing and create the turnover.
Jackson County with the ball. Huffines, it bounces around but will not fall, and Apple is fouled on the rebound. Foul is called on Lynette Brown, her first of the evening.
That was a nice shot by Huffines. It had a good arc to it, and that's what you need. That way it takes a couple bounces on the rim if it doesn't go directly in.
Well, looks like once again Lynette Brown will be whistled. She's reaching in, and that will be her second foul of the evening. Owlet's ball into their own basket. Owlet's being patient. There's Wilburn, and she's forcing it up against Haney. The shot will not fall this time for Hyatt. Haney gets the rebound, but nice play as Tracy Cowan steals it.
And Tracy was at the right place at the right time there and put her hand up and got that ball.
Long 20-footer will not fall for Apple. Jackson County down by 1, gets it coming this way. Joanna Flatt looking to set up the offense. Still a man-to-man defense by the Owlets. Coach Huffines over there yelling double high. Coach Dan Huffines, who might want to specify.
Yeah, they're putting both of their players up in the high post and swinging them down.
Haney misses this one. The follow-up won't fall for Susan Hughes.
And Haney, yeah, right back underneath the basket to put it in for 2.
8 points for Teresa Haney. And the Lady Blue Devils are up by 1. From 20 feet, the shot doesn't fall for Tracy Cowan. Lady Blue Devils come down with it. Joanna Flatt out front, setting it up again. She and Huffines. Now they work it down to Haney. Flatt tries to drive. It's stolen away by Angela Massey. Here she comes all the way. No. Follow up by Hyatt. No. All kinds of action on the floor. Now the Owlets look to set something up. Hyatt just loses it. She tried to move on the baseline and just lost a handle on it. So the Lady Blue Devils up by 1. A place where Coach Dan Huffines, talking to him before the game, he didn't expect to be at this point.
Well, up to this point, Jackson County's playing a smart ball game. They're taking their time, and they're listening to Coach Dan and setting up those plays.
Coach Dan and Coach Pam. That way we don't get them confused, right? Huffines, shot will not fall. And yes, that is his daughter.
And you saw right there, Coach Huffines, as soon as that ball rolled out, he was pointing in that direction. That's Jackson County's ball.
He would have pointed that way had it been their ball or not, though, I think. Now he tells them to back up. They're trying to spread them out a little bit, give them a little room to run that man-to-man offense. Flat to Huffines. Huffines works her way open, and it's tipped out by Hyatt, I believe. So Jackson County gets it back. There you see Coach Dan Huffines, Jackson County. This is his first year back after a 10-year layoff. He coached the boys and assisted the girls for 6 years, and he was here when the girls were state champs in 1973. Been in the retail business for the past 10 years, and back to coach Lady Blue Devils.
Well, you can tell right here with the ball handling and their patience that they're a well-coached team. But that's no slack off Carthage either. They're really hanging in there.
A tough, sticky defense. That's why they're trying to spread them out so much. Looked to me like Susan Hughes. Guess again, Joanna Flatt.
As you'll see right there, number 10 goes up for the ball, ends up on the floor. That is Denise Apple for Carthage.
A long, long shot at the buzzer. Doesn't fall. So at the halftime, it's 8-7 Jackson County. Or it's into the first quarter, let's make that, okay? We're trying to get this through awfully quick, aren't I? Okay, first quarter score. 8-7, Jackson County on top. And let's see what else we can tell you about these two teams. Next, the Jackson County Lady Blue Devils are going to be playing at Red Boiling Springs in the tournament. They play Westmoreland, which is undefeated and seeded second. Also for the Carthage Owlettes, Coach Pam Huffines takes her team against Gordonsville. They'll be playing at Carthage, cross-county rivals. Should be some interesting action for all you fans of Carthage and Jackson County coming up in the next few days.
And Steve, how do you score Jackson County right now? Who's holding the points for them?
Jackson County right now, it's Teresa Haney holding all 8 points. So with Angie Huffines averaging 8 a game, she's had a couple of nice shots but been unable to put them in. And there you see the Jackson County Lady Blue Devils record, 2-3 overall and 0-2 in District 7AA. They've lost to Cannon County and DeKalb County. For the Owlettes of Smith County, scoring is a little bit more balanced. 3 for Denise Apple, 2 for Tammy Hyatt, and 2 for Sandra Wilburn. Of course, with only that many points to spread out. There's
nice
a shot. Angela Massey, and that's her first 2 of the game.
I take it that Pam Huffines probably said, okay, girls, it's time to take some shots. Don't be afraid to shoot it.
There's Flatt. She moves in, and holding on to her will be Tracy Cowan for Smith County, her first foul of the game.
And Carthage had a pretty good double team going there, but they got a little anxious and foul called on them.
Susan Hughes, who had a knee surgery 2 years ago for Jackson County, bringing the ball in to Angie Huffines, who as we mentioned, for the past 2 years has had knee surgery. Flatt was way short that time. Excuse me, Haney short. Now she's right under the basket all alone and goes into double figures with 7:19 left to play in the second quarter. Teresa Haney, averaging 20 a game, has 10 points.
And Haney has 3 shots at that before she put it in.
Offensive rebounding, you got to hang in there. Wilburn having rough going across the middle for Smith County. Hyatt couldn't get it to fall, but she's fouled. I couldn't see exactly who that one was on. I believe it was Haney.
And that'll send Sandra Wilburn to the line.
She's a 5'8" senior, averaging 11 points a game. The 1-and-1, she couldn't get it to fall, but there's Denise Apple with the offensive board. Wilburn has it again. Hyatt drives the lane, up and in. Tammy Hyatt, 4 points tonight. Jackson County much quicker this time, getting the ball down the floor. Joanna Flatt on top. There's Huffines on the wing. They're looking to set something up inside. Hughes down to Haney. Haney will take it, and nice play by Poochie Brown over there. Lynette Brown tries to get the rebound. Couldn't hang on to it. Massey brings it down for Smith County. Carthage is up by 1. Close game so far. There's Hyatt. This time she can't get it to fall. Jackson County's Susan Hughes comes down with a rebound. Now they'll set something up. They're leaving the middle wide open, trying to find an opening in there. Try to work it into Haney. Nice play over there by Denise Apple to knock the ball away.
And right there was the opening you were talking about, Steve. They brought everybody over to one side, and then they had the short pick, and we're going to Haney.
There's Haney, and she's fouled this time by Denise Apple. That will be Apple's first of the game. Let's look at it again.
And you'll see right there as Denise fouls Haney. Probably a good foul. Haney would have turned around and put it right in.
Angela Massey was in there too. They work it into Haney. Nothing but net. She seems to do better when people are all over her sometimes.
Well, she's got a definite 3-inch advantage over anybody on the Carthage team.
Blocking foul on Lynette Brown on the baseline. That'll be her third foul of the game as Denise Apple was driving the baseline trying to get around her. Lynette Brown couldn't get in front of her quick enough to cut her off and fouled her in the process.
Leaf Pucci might be taking a little rest here with 3 fouls on her.
And Gina Petit comes into the game. You're absolutely right. She's a 5'1" junior, averages about 5 points a game.
Lynette's come up with some good crucial rebounds here in the first period, and Coach Dan wants to keep her in for the second half.
Wilburn inside gets the offensive rebound, but the foul is on Haney. And unofficially, she has 3 tonight. Jackson County cannot afford to lose her. Coach Pam Huffines of the Owlettes said they're going to try to slow Haney down. Well, if she gets into foul trouble, Jackson County could be running into some major problems. First shot won't fall for Sandra Wilburn. And this one goes down as Sandra Wilburn has 3 points tonight.
So we're at 12-12 with 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Joanna Platt drives inside. Nice steal by Hyatt. That's the first time that Platt has tried to drive that opening. There's Massey. The shot won't fall. Cowan gets the rebound. And Wilburn underneath. The ball knocked away. Nice play by Huffines. Platt, though, tried to drive the opening last time as we see Haney puts it up and in. And she's had that opening a couple of times tonight. That's the first time she's tried to take it. I hope that the fact that she got it stolen away that time doesn't stop her from trying again.
Yeah, she needs to try that again. Long
Apple
shot.
25 feet. Huffines tries to dump the ball off to Petit, and it goes out of bounds. And she just lost control a little bit of that ball. Now we see a substitution for Smith County. That'll be number 45, Catherine Boucher, a 5'11½" senior. Wilburn way up on top, guarded by Haney. Now the ball goes over to Massey. And we have Gina Petit, who's a 5'1" junior, guarding Denise Apple, who's a 5'10" senior. If they can get it into Apple, she can surely work inside. It's a much more fair matchup than the one you see there. We see walking on Wilburn. Wilburn at 5'8" against Haney, who's 6'1". So if they could, if Smith County, we'll see it again.
You'll see right here Wilburn, she looks up and says, whoa, that's a lot of height right there. And took a little shuffle step before she threw the ball up.
A little bit too large of a wall to climb. But what I'm saying is Smith County would match Apple up inside. The person guarding her, Gina Petit, is 5'1". Apple at 5'10" would have a definite advantage from anywhere on the floor. Jackson County taking their time once again. Here's Huffines. She drives the lane, and there's a foul as Denise Apple reached in. Committed her second one of the evening. There you see referee Glenn Donahoe.
And that's not a shooting foul, so Jackson County will take it out.
And they're not in the bonus yet either.
Gina Petit will throw it in for Jackson County.
We have a tie score at 14. Nice play by Catherine Boucher. And Apple will be fouled by Hughes. Hughes knows that, looked at the referee and said, come on, I really didn't mean to. She was moving and just bumped into her there. One of those fouls that you just wish you had back.
And Carthage is in a bonus, so that'll send Denise Apple to the line. She'll be shooting a 1-and-1.
Rebound by Susan Hughes. Here comes Flat. She takes it to the foul line, stops and backs out, moves in again. Now Huffines with the ball. A definite foul there by Catherine Boucher as Huffines comes up with a big grimace. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but she came across the lane. There she's holding her back, you see on the right-hand side of your screen, walking out. Now she's walking back in. She was in some definite pain as she really got whacked by Boucher. Let's see if we can see it here.
Okay, you'll see Huffines right there, and Boucher, I don't know if it was, looked like a little nick in the lower back.
Right as she entered the screen there. Flat looking for somebody to break inside, and that somebody is Haney. Jackson County taking their time. Score is tied at 14. Boy, the Smith County defense is really sticking.
Oh.
There is Haney, 16 points tonight. We're still in the first half and 3 minutes to play. She has 16.
I'll tell you, Haney, she doesn't take her time either. As soon as she gets that ball, she turns around and shoots it.
And that's the way to do it when you're a tall post player.
Nice still there by number 24, Huffines.
And she's fouled by Massey. That brings the crowd alive. What a foul. Let's look at it again.
And you'll see Huffines going in right there, and a slap and a hold.
2 angles, no less. Nice camera work, nice replay, nice directing. What a nice bunch of guys we have working for us.
Yeah, Angela Massey, though, she's going to make sure that the shot was not made.
Huffines at the line, picks up her first point of the game. Boy, that was a quick reminder. Yes, we do have women working for us, too. Maybe I should say we have woman working for us.
Nice throw over there.
Open on the inside is Flat, but she couldn't get it to fall.
Yeah, Joanna a little bit disturbed with herself because she knew she was wide open right underneath the basket.
Let's look at that again. Boy, look at the bodies. And she commits the foul, knowing that she should have hit the shot. That's often the case. When you miss something or do something wrong, you try to correct it and you overcompensate.
And that sends Wilburn to the line. She's shooting a 1-and-1, has made the top half, coming back to scoop in the other.
She's 2 for 3 from the line. Both of them bounce around and fall in. She has 5 tonight. Inside once again to Haney.
And good heads-up play by Wilburn. Haney was wide open underneath the basket. Wilburn came at the last second and knocked it out of bounds.
Connie Jones checks into the game for Tracy Cowan. Connie Jones is a 5'5" junior. Nice play by Apple on the inbounds play. She knocks it out of bounds. Jackson County having all kinds of problems getting the ball in.
Well, Gina's going in at about 5'1", trying to throw in over number 10, Apple, and that's a hard task to do. Oh, and Flat loses it out of bounds. It'll go back over to Carthage.
We mentioned that matchup earlier. Apple at 5'10", a definite height advantage. This time, Smith County returns the favor.
Angela Massey threw it over to 55 Wilburn, and Wilburn went right off her fingers, so now we go back to Jackson County.
And the steal. Shot up and in. Nice play. Connie Jones, just in the ballgame, picks up 2 points on sticky defense. Huffines driving between two, and we have a foul either on Massey. It looks like it'll be called on Connie Jones. Let's look at it again.
You'll see right here Connie reaching in and tangling up Flat. So Flat will go to the line, shooting 1-1.
Score tied at 18. Angie Huffines, first half of the 1-1. She has 3 tonight. Puts her team up by 1.
And Huffines has got her eye on that basket.
Nice touch from the free throw line. This time Jackson County puts that press on. As you see, Carthage is quick. They almost lose it out of bounds. Boucher gets it back. Now Apple long from outside. Denise Apple, 7 points tonight. Ties the score back with 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Denise has had a couple of those long 20-footers and has been real successful in shooting them.
Flat working the outside, trying to find some movement on the inside, somebody to get open. Delay of game. Took 5 seconds without penetration, I believe, or 7 seconds, whatever the call is now.
She just needed to head towards the basket instead of going back and forth at a parallel.
Massey from outside, rims in, out. Now Boucher puts it back up. Catherine Boucher, her first 2 of the night.
Nice touch by Boucher to go straight back up with the ball.
Jackson County here should just clear the floor and let 1 work on 1. Hard to pass against a man-to-man defense, full court press. Jackson County now down by 2. Huffines with the ball guarded closely by Massey. She'll wheel in the lane and is fouled as she goes up. So she should be going to the line for 2 as Angela Massey commits her first of the evening.
And you'll see right here Huffines turning around, going up for the shot, and fouled by number 32, Massey.
And Huffines has a chance to put her team back into a tie.
And here's Huffines going up to the first of 2. A little short.
Had a nice touch the first time at the line. This time a little short. 59 seconds left to play in the first half. Takes a good look at the basket. This one's nothing but net. Angie Huffines with 5 points tonight. 22-21. Smith County now taking their time. Pass a little bit hard over there to Connie Jones. Jones looks for an opening inside. There's Apple, and she will be fouled by Gina Petit. If Apple had got that ball inside, she would have had pretty much a clear route to the basket. Petit coming up to make the steal. Grabs her on the arm. Let's look at it again.
And right here you'll see the pass to Apple, and Petit gets tangled up in that web. Of course, you're looking at a 5'10" going against 5'1" Gina Petit, so Apple definitely has the height advantage.
Misses the shot. Haney tries to get it now. Wilburn for Smith County over in the corner. Pulls it out, and Smith County with 35 seconds to play in the first half will get another shot at it.
That was pure hustle by Wilburn to get that ball over Haney.
Man-to-man defense by the Lady Blue Devils. 15 seconds now. Smith County almost loses it. Massey at the foul line. Long shot from outside. Doesn't hit anything, and it looks like Wilburn stepped on the line as she tried to save it. 4 seconds left to play in the first half.
Once Once again, that was good hustle by Wilburn, but she was on the line.
3 seconds. Going to have to put it up quick. Apple will fire it from half court.
Oh,
no.
Hits the front
of the rim. So we go to the dressing rooms now with the score of the Smith County Owlets 22 and the Jackson County Lady Blue Devils 21. With quality programming and no commercials, we're WCTE TV, Cookeville, Tennessee. It's halftime at Jackson County, and Jackson County is down by, down by 1 point, 22-21. The Smith County Owlets are on top. And Peter, I believe you can break down the scoring for us.
I'll sure do it, Steve. Right now we have Lynette Brown for the Jackson County Blue Devils. Poochie, she's got 3 fouls. Teresa Haney, 16 points and 2 fouls. Joanna Flatt, 3 fouls. Angie Huffines with 5 points, all of them at the free throw line. Susan Hughes, 1 foul. Gina Poteet has 1 foul. And switching over to the Carthage Owlets, we have Denise Apple with 7 points and 2 fouls. Hyatt with 4 points. Jones with 2 points and 1 foul. Cowan with 1 foul. Angela Massey with 2 points and 2 fouls. Catherine Boucher off the bench with 2 points and 1 foul. And Sandra Wilborn with 5 points.
So all the scoring for Jackson County has been by Teresa Haney and Angie Huffine. See, they've switched ends of the floor now, and that may be a factor in the game, switching ends of the floor down there. I was showing the guys how to play basketball earlier as we were setting up, and that end of the floor down there has some dead spots in it. So whether that will be a factor or not, we don't know yet. Jackson County didn't seem to encounter any problems in the first half. Flatt drives the lane, works it outside, almost lost over there by Hughes. Massey, sticky defense, almost gets the steal for Smith County. Jackson County back to set it up again.
So you were giving the guys some pointers before game time?
Yeah, just a few things that they probably didn't know how to do.
Slam dunks.
Yeah, there were a couple of those involved. I won't tell you how I did them, though. They might not let me back in the gym if I did.
Ball back over to Jackson County's Blue Devils.
And Hughes comes up with a steal. They work it into Haney. No surprise there. She tries to dribble and loses it. Apple comes up with it, and she charges into Huffines. Nice play by Huffines to get set. And Denise Apple picks up her 3rd foul of the game.
Good heads-up play right here. You'll see her get in position, and bam. Apple hits Huffines down on the floor.
And Apple checks out of the game as Tracy Cowan, who started, is back in. She's a 5'4" senior. Flatt almost walked there, trying to find somebody open on the inside. A long pass across court, and Lynette Brown couldn't handle it, couldn't reach it.
Yeah, Susan Hughes, number 45, just a little bit too high on that ball, and Lynette Brown couldn't handle it. Back over to the Carthage Owlets.
You mentioned earlier, Haney lots of times as soon as she gets the ball, turns around and shoots. Last time down the floor when she lost it, tried to dribble, and she was only about 8 feet away, so be interesting to see if she'll take any outside shots. Massey puts it up and in for the Owlets.
Well, one thing about being tall is you got to realize she's got to dribble the ball a lot further to hit the floor than somebody that's 5'1", so she has a much better chance of getting it still.
Haney pulled up from 15 that time and couldn't get it to fall. Bounced off the back of the rim. Boucher on the baseline, no. Brown comes down with a rebound for the Jackson County Lady Blue Devils. And Huffines can't handle it. Loses her footing. Jones coming this way for Smith County, up Off the glass, no good. The rebound, Haney comes in, tries to grab it away.
Here's Huffines down the floor waiting for the ball, but Flat doesn't see her. Oh!
And Huffines was there, waited just long enough to be fouled by Tracy Cowan, her second of the evening. As you say, we'll see it again.
And you'll see right there, Flat goes the end around over to Huffines. She lays it in with the right hand. 2 points, going to the line for 3.
Second angle. Couldn't see much from there. Huffines at the line tried to convert the three-point play, and
nice.
She does.
Nice soft touch by Huffines to make a nice three-pointer.
8 points for her tonight, which is her average a game, and 6 of those have come at the free throw line. Brown will be called for the foul as Jones tried to drive around. A nice pick set over there by Sandra Wilburn. Lynette Brown, that will be her 4th of the evening.
Score tied at 24 all.
They're trying to make a substitution, more than likely for Lynette Brown. And here comes Gina Petit into the ball game. Referee sends her back out, says no. We already had handed the ball. Have to wait one more time. And we have a foul on the inside. Looks like Boucher getting a little bit rough underneath. Now Petit will come into the game.
And the foul is indeed on Boucher. That'll be her second. She's right there. You can see she's trying to get a little position right there and pushes
Hughes.
Yeah, Hughes out of the way.
Huffines coming down the court. Tries to work it into Haney. We got a foul over there by Gina Petit with a loose ball.
And Gina's got to be careful with that foul situation. She only has 2, but Pucci's got 4.
Joanna Flatt with 3 for the Lady Blue Devils, and Haney with also 2. Lots of fouls. Jackson County in the man-to-man defense. Massey for Smith County tries to find something inside. Now Boucher will be fouled by Susan Hughes. 2 on Hughes. Score is still tied. We'll see it again.
And you'll see right here the pass over to right there inside the Boucher, and Hughes is over the back on the wrist. Foul. And right into Hughes' hands.
So Hughes, sweet revenge, comes up with a steal. Denise Apple getting ready to check back into the ball game for Smith County with 3 fouls.
And Hughes, back over to Haney.
Haney, excuse me, from the baseline. So Teresa Haney, absolutely she can hit from the outside. Once again, trying to get them into the ball game. Referees tonight, Glenn Donahoe and Norman Neal.
And with that last Haney 10-footer, that does put Jackson County up by 2.
Nice rebound by Hughes.
With a possibility to stretch it to 4 if they're successful on this trip down the court.
They work it into Hughes. She got it curled up against her body or couldn't put it on the floor quickly enough, and Apple does check into the ball game. She'll be coming in for Cowan.
That was a smart play by Hughes, and that lane was open there for a split second, but she got the ball kind of hung up on her side and didn't get it down to the floor quick enough.
Smith County running the play against the man-to-man defense. Massey, boy, she's quick over there. There's Wilburn from the foul line. Yes, Sandra Wilburn, 7 points.
Score tied at 26.
Now Jackson County has the right idea this time down the floor against the man-to-man press. Let Flat work against one person. You get 2 or 3 out there, can get crowded. Other folks reaching in, as you see them doing there on Angie Huffines. Crowd for Jackson County screaming at the referee for a foul. Huffines drives, pops, No good. Flatt under the board with a rebound. Yes, sirree. Joanna Flatt, and that's her first 2 of the evening.
And Joanna was right at the right place to be, underneath that board, to get the offensive rebound and put it right back up.
Apple is tied up over there, and the possession will go to Jackson County.
And Flatt came around the back end of Apple. As soon as she turned around Apple, there was a possession.
Smith County, excuse me, gets the possession time. Apple has 9 tonight, her first 2 of the second half.
Those 9 points of Apples, most of them have come from long range.
Huffines drives all the way. We have a major pileup, and Wilburn looks like will be whistled for her first foul of the evening. Huffines, no regard for safety.
You'll see Huffines driving right here, and Wilburn just wasn't set. She didn't have that set position, so Huffines will go to the line, and I'm sure she'll be shooting too.
Nice shot of Angie Huffines. Angie Huffines, very successful from the free throw line tonight. Could go into double figures with this shot.
Nice touch. Nice touch.
Bounces out. Huffines with 9.7 of them from the line tonight. Jackson County up by 1, 29-28. 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Foul will be called on Haney, her 3rd of the evening.
And Haney this time around, she just didn't have those arms up in the air. She had them kind of on the back and got called for the foul.
Wilburn working against Haney, drives around her, up and in. Sandra Wilburn, 9 points.
Nice heads-up play by Wilburn. Instead of going up against Haney, she took it around the back end, snuck underneath that basket.
This time Huffines brings it down for the Lady Blue Devils, and she'll turn around and shoot it. Shot doesn't fall. Wilburn gets the rebound.
It was a little bit of an off-balance shot for Huffines. She was getting ready to throw it and then decided at the last second to turn around and shoot it.
There's Apple once again from the corner. What a touch. She goes into double figures, 11 points.
Big gun for the Carthage Owlettes.
She averages 10 a game and now has 11. We have a foul out front. Looks like Massey will be called. Angela Massey.
And that was a heads-up play right there by Haney. She knew that Massey was guarding and not paying attention to what was behind her. Haney just stood there, waited to be run into. Foul against Massey.
Now Massey with 3 fouls, and Apple with 3. Only people who might be in trouble for Smith County.
And Flatt almost loses the handle on the ball, but gets it back.
Sticky man-to-man by Smith County. Haney can't handle the pass, a little bit low, goes out of bounds. Smith County up by 3 now, 32-29, just under a minute to play in the third quarter. Jackson County Lady Blue Devils in the man-to-man. They work it into Boucher, Smith County does, and now another tie. Possession will go to Jackson County this time. They're so quick on that possession.
They sure are, and that was a good play by Huffines. Gets it back over to Jackson County, which is exactly what they need to do. They need to stay close, especially here in this third period, winding down.
They have a light over there at the scorer's table, and it changes so quickly after the whistle blows when there's a possession change. Sometimes it's hard to tell whose ball it is. Flatt tries to move.
Nice steal by Huffines. And right back again.
Massey now with the ball. And she is quick. We noted that earlier tonight. Apple will take another long one.
Air ball.
Trying to save it over there to our cameraman, Richard Castle. Number 23 is Connie Jones for Smith County.
Richard quickly put his body in between the player and the camera.
Time runs out on our third period action, and the score is Smith County 32 and Jackson County 29. We might mention what a fine crew that we do have with us tonight. There you see Coach Dan Huffines. Now, he told me the picture he painted before the game was a very bleak one, that he really wasn't expecting to do that well against this team.
Right.
Now, I don't know if he was just out and out lying to me or that his girls are really coming on and doing better than he expected. Foul underneath over there, looks like on Huffines.
Well, you know, Dan started out with a 2-3 record, and I guess it was looking a little bleak coming into this Smith County 4-2 record. Right here you see a replay.
Angie just a little bit anxious there. At the line will be Sandra Wilburn, and she has 10 points. She goes into double figures, averaging 11 a game. She and Apple, the big scorers for Smith County tonight.
But Dan's crew, they've fared real well so far tonight. They're behind by 4 right now. They need to get 2 quickly up on the board.
Almost lose it out of bounds. Nice play over there by Susan Hughes for Jackson County. This time flat, once again drives, pulls up, doesn't take the shot. Hughes looks inside. Hard to find an opening in there.
Right there's the shot.
Haney can't get it to fall. Lynette Brown comes down with it, and the possession will be
Back
Jackson County.
Jackson County.
Huffines looks inside to Haney. She'll turn around with 3 people on her and be fouled by Massey. Massey says, I can't believe that. That will be Angela's 4th foul of the evening. And they have sort of shut down Teresa Haney in this last quarter of play. The second half, she has only had 2 points. There you see Coach Pam Huffines, 4-1, 1-1 in the district. Smith County. Haney's first shot is good. She has 19 now.
I'm sure those 19 points have a lot to do with them shutting down Haney here in the second half, or at least shutting her down a little bit. She had a well of a first half.
She now has her average 20. Checking into the ball game for the first time will be a 5'5" sophomore, Vicki Alvis, for Smith County, and there she is, number 12. She'll be bringing the ball down.
You know, a 16-point first half will wear anybody out.
That's true, but give lots of credit to that Smith County defense. Very sticky. As you can see, they had 3 people down on Haney the last time down the floor. Wilburn gets the rebound underneath and puts it up and in for her 12 points of the night. Huffines tries to bring it down for Jackson County, and it will be batted out of bounds by Alvis. So Jackson County gets it again. Nice play by the young lady who just entered the ball game. Jackson County still keeps it, and they have had problems tonight getting the ball in against this man-to-man defense.
I'll tell you, number 12, Alvis, Vicki Alvis, she is a quick one, too.
Inbounds pass. This time, Haney comes all the way to the baseline to get it. At 6'1", she's the tallest person on the floor. Nice play by Alvis once again. She almost gets the steal. Somebody was open for a second, but Smith County recovers quickly.
Yeah, Lynette Brown was standing right underneath the basket, but as you say, Smith County recovered so quickly, didn't even get a chance to see her.
Hughes to Haney. She's looking for somebody open. Now she'll drive the lane, put it up, and Boucher was guarding her close.
That's one of the advantages of having Boucher in there. She's 5'11 and a half, so she can match up with Haney pretty well. All she needs to do is keep those hands up.
Boucher
Nice
into
pass
Apple, no. And Lynette Brown and Susan Hughes over there knocked the ball out of bounds, so Smith County will get the possession back under their own basket.
Nice pass, bounce pass by Boucher over to Apple. Just couldn't connect on it. So Apple will be thrown in.
Wilburn. Now the shot off the rim will not fall for Jones. Jackson County to Huffines, under the basket, too far. Boucher gets the board for Smith County.
And Huffines really disappointed that she didn't get those two.
Apple drives to the baseline, no good. Huffines the board. She goes to the middle of the floor looking for somebody to pass off to. Now slows it down. The timeout will be called by the Jackson County Lady Blue Devils. They're down by 4, 35-31. 5 minutes, 27 seconds left to play in the ball game.
And there we have Hughes passing it into 21, Joanna Flatt. Over to Haney.
Into Haney. Off the glass, good. She's fouled by Wilburn. Haney has 22 tonight, and Wilburn picks up her second foul.
That will, okay, here we see the play right here. Haney has the opening over Boucher, goes up for the 2 points, no problem. And that probably had something to do with that timeout they just took a moment ago. That play looked like a set play.
Down by 4 a moment ago. Now the Lady Blue Devils are within 1 as Haney drops the free throw. 35-34. Smith County back battling for to keep their lead. And Wilburn loses it out of bounds. This is a big chance here for the Lady Blue Devils.
Nevertheless, that was a nice inside bounce pass by Alvis over to Wilburn.
A foul on Apple. I believe either Apple or Alvis. It's hard to see as Alvis will take a seat on the bench. It'll be Alvis, her first foul of the night. Coming into the ball game for Smith County is Nicole Donahoe. She's a 5'6" junior, and she sees lots of action for these Owlettes.
And this will put number 24, Angie Huffines, who has been very successful at the line tonight. She's got 7 points so far from the line. Will be shooting a 1-and-1. First one looks good.
Angie goes into double figures with that, 10 points tonight. And as you say, 8 of them now from the free throw line. That's quite an accomplishment. 5'6" junior.
To tie the score, Angie goes up and does not fall through the threads.
Wilburn gets the rebound for Smith County. That's Nicole Donahoe with the ball. Now we have a foul out front. I believe it was on Flatt.
Flatt got just a little bit too aggressive.
That will be Joanna's 4th of the evening. Connie Jones to the line for Smith County. 2 points tonight for her. Under 5 minutes to play. The score is tied at 35.
Lynette Brown comes up with a big play to get that rebound and give it back to the Jackson County Lady Blue Devils.
Huffines works it into Haney, and she's fouled. A couple of people around her, both of them lost their balance. Looked like behind her was Wilburn.
And you'll see right here the middle kind of clogged up. The ball gets over to Haney, and I believe the foul was called against Haney.
Sure was. Her 4th of the evening. Jackson County can't afford to lose her.
Well, she looked to me like she didn't have any room to come down. But nevertheless, the ball does go back over to the Smith Owlettes.
Hughes comes up with a steal for Jackson County and gets the ball to Flatt. Now, I may be wrong, Peter. They have the score as 35-35, but as we see the foul out front on Huffines, be her 2nd of the evening, and Massey checks it back into the ball game for Donahoe. They have the score as 35-35, but I was under the impression that Huffines was shooting to tie the score and missed it. 35-34, so okay. I don't know if the official score thought she hit that or if we're just...
Right right there, you saw that foul created by Huffines. And Steve, I agree with you. I thought it was 34-35 too, and that the three-point play, that shot was missed. But we're showing 35 all.
Connie Jones at the line picks up her 3rd point of the night. Connie is a 5'5" junior. 36-35 the score as they have it up on the big board.
And Connie was just at the line a minute ago and missed the front end of a 1-1, comes back and sinks 2.
37-35.
They're going to get time here if they don't get the ball in.
Tough defense out front. Flatt works against it.
Wow.
She did take steps. She left her feet for a moment there. Good defense by Connie Jones.
Yeah, that's how Joanna got so clear around Jones right there. She took a couple of steps.
Smith County up by 2, 37-35. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the ball game. They work it into Wilburn over Haney, no good. And Boucher is in there for the offensive board.
Comes up with a big play for Smith County.
Going to the floor very quickly. It looks like we have somebody hurt, and that would be Huffines, the daughter of Coach Dan Huffines. Not sure exactly what happened there. Let's see it again. Let's see if we can see what happened.
We'll see right there. Oh, she just landed right on
the head.
Yeah.
Back of the head. That's extremely painful. On a hardwood floor, this floor is not that hard. It's fairly soft, but a hardwood floor, you hit your head on it, you can lose your sight temporarily if you hit it hard enough. Here you see Coach Dan Huffines will physically pick his daughter up and carry her off the floor. I don't know if she'll be going to the dressing room. It looks like they're trying to find her a seat on the bench. So things come to a grinding halt here in Jackson County. 3 minutes and a half left to play in the game as Angie Huffines takes a horrid spill. Will be Jackson County's ball under their own basket. Susan Hughes to bring it in. Denise Apple guarding closely, and let's see. They get it in nicely that time. Gina Poteet. She's going to let Flatt bring it down the floor. Flatt works against Jones. Man-to-man defense. There's Hughes with the ball. Haney on the outside. Still looking for something, some movement inside. Jackson County looking for the opening. Obviously, they're looking for Haney to get open. Now they try to work it into Brown. Nice steal over there by Wilburn. Smith County gets it.
Bounce pass to Brown was just a little bit high, and Wilburn went around and stole it.
Smith County appearing now not to be in any big hurry. And an elbow to the face of Gina Poteet as she rubbing her nose as she comes down the floor. Massey moved the ball over to the other side, and Poteet still rubbing her nose as the ball is taken away. Boucher comes up with a loose ball. Poteet is in pain. She's wanting somebody to stop action. You can see there, Gina Poteet.
She ended up, looks like Gina's got a bloody nose.
That's exactly what happened, and this has turned into quite a rough contest here in Jackson County. We could see it earlier. What happened is Massey was dribbling out front. She had the ball on her left-hand side. As she switched it over with both hands to her right, her left elbow came up and hit Gina Poteet right in the nose. And she went ahead and tried to play, went all the way down the floor. As she was coming back this way, however, the pain got a little bit too much for her, and she reached up, saw blood on her hands, and it was very painful. Let's see if we can see it.
You can see Gina over there. Right there, she got it.
Good replay. Good camera work, and Gina Poteet gets a big hand as Karen Young, a 5'2" sophomore, will check into the ball game. So quickly, Jackson County has lost 2 to injuries. within a minute and 15 seconds.
And as you can see, both of them were, of course, completely non-intentional.
Oh, yes. Wouldn't mean to imply that at all. Smith County with the ball now. And call for traveling Connie Jones. So Smith County loses another possession. 39-35. They're on top by 4. Haney once again has to come down to get the inbounds pass. Here comes Karen Young working against Massey. And Massey, like I say, is very quick. Hughes will take it. Does not fall. Brown and Young battling for the rebound. Fleck comes up with it. Here's Brown again. She's open. No, it won't fall as Apple gets the rebound for Smith County. Turns around and says, slow down. A minute 40 left to play, and Smith County calls a timeout. I'm sure that's exactly what Coach Pam Huffines is going to tell her girls. You're up by 4, a minute 40 to play. It's a low-scoring ball game. Just slow down, take your time, 39-35, and we can win this one pretty easy. A big game for both these teams. And there you see Jackson County is going to try the full-court press. Only on the inbounds play, though. Coach Dan Huffine said they might do that every once in a while just to throw off the timing of Carthage, but Smith County is so fast they didn't want to do it the whole game, and that's the second time that they've tried that tonight. A minute 20 to play in the contest. Smith County being very patient. They have high post set up in the middle is Boucher.
Time is on Smith County's side, though. We're getting down to close to a minute left in the ball game.
There's Massey with the ball. She's a good ball handler. Smith County is in no hurry to go to the basket. Massey is fouled now by Karen Young. That'll be her first of the game. Checking into the ball game will be Tracy Cowan for Connie Jones. 49 seconds to play. The Jackson County Lady Blue Devils were at the point where they just about had to foul.
They sure were, and right here could be the ball game or a chance for Smith County to come back.
Massey has 4.
Come back. Okay.
Angela Massey now with 5 points. She has 4 fouls out there playing. 49 seconds to play in the contest. Her team is up by the biggest lead, 5 points. And Wilburn will be whistled for her 3rd foul. Nice play by Susan Hughes in there to get the rebound for Jackson County.
And that could have been the icing on the cake, but right now Jackson County has a chance to come back. You'll see right here as Wilburn goes in and hits Hughes. Just got a little bit too aggressive. So Jackson County has a chance of coming back by 2 points without any seconds ticking off that clock.
That's the key right there. No seconds, or maybe 1 second ticked off the clock, and they can come back to within 3 if Hughes can sink both of these. She doesn't have any points tonight. It'll be a good time to get them. Boucher will be called, I believe, for pushing off. Or maybe for crossing the line too quickly. Anyway, Hyatt checks in now. Checks back into the ball game as Boucher will take a seat on the bench. Hughes stole the line, gets another chance. 1 and 1. And only once again, 1 second ticked off the clock. This time Hughes knocks it in. Her first point of the evening. And she's one for Jackson County. She had knee surgery 2 years ago, I understand. Arthroscopic surgery. Nice touch.
Two big points by Susan Hughes.
Jackson County, a full court press. Wilburn with the ball, guarded closely by Flatt and Haney. Now Wilburn drives. Hyatt gets it under the basket, but puts it back out front quickly. Going to run some precious time off the clock. Smith County up by 3, 40-37. 30 seconds left to play in the ball game. Hughes, Haney way out front for Jackson County. They try to trap Apple, and it works. Diving is Flatt, and she'll be called. No, they're going to have a jump ball. The other referee overrules it. They call Flatt for walking. Nice play by the Jackson County Lady Blue Devils. 18 seconds left in the ball game. They're down by 3 now, and quite a defense. And the difference was that Haney came out to trap. We'll see it here.
And you'll see right there, Young stealing the ball away. Flatt chasing it down. Gets the ball. And it was called traveling?
Called traveling on the other side. One referee put up his hands in a jump ball signal, but the other referee overruled him and said no, she was sliding, her feet moved. She didn't have her feet planted, 1 foot planted. Man-to-man, full court. They work it into Hyatt. 15 seconds.
Need a trapper down there.
And that's exactly what they try to do. Massey's so quick, though, moves around it, gets it to Wilburn on the mid-court line. She's guarded way out front by Haney, and we have a foul. It's going to be called on Young. Karen Young. Tough, sticky defense. 4 seconds left to play in the ball game. Massey at the line. She has 5 points tonight, one of those coming from the free throw line. 4 seconds left to play. Her team is up by 3, and that should just about do it. Smith County will be 5-2 and 2-1 in the district. Jackson County drops to 2-4 as Massey sinks the first one. 6 points for her tonight. And they'll be 0-3 in District 7AA, adding Smith County to their list of people who have beaten them, as Massey has 7 points. Also, they've been beaten by DeKalb and County.
1 second.
At the buzzer, a last-minute shot by Joanna Flatt, and this Jackson County team has nothing to be ashamed of. They should not hang their heads because they played quite a contest. 42-37, the final score. Smith County on top of Jackson County. And we'll be back with men's action in just a moment.